All right, today we're cracking open a book that's, well, it's not just a book. It's an absolute monument of the 20th century. Alexander Solzhenitsyn's The Gulag Archipelago. Now, this isn't your typical history book. It's what he called a literary investigation, a deep dive into a system that just consumed millions of people. And the lessons inside, believe me, they are just as urgent today as they were back then. So, let's get into its powerful message.
Right from the very first page, Solzhenitsyn doesn't start with some formal introduction. Nope, he starts with a dedication. And this immediately sets the tone. You feel the incredible weight of what he's trying to do. He's not just an author here, he's a witness, fighting to give a voice to the millions who were swallowed up by the silence.
So to really get this book, you first have to understand its most important metaphor, the archipelago. See, Solzhenitsyn isn't just talking about a bunch of prisons. He's showing us a secret country, a hidden continent that was festering right inside the Soviet Union.
What he was revealing was basically a separate civilization. It had its own twisted laws, its own customs, and millions of inhabitants. It was a monstrous world that, and this is a crazy thing to read, he said he almost came to love. Not because of the cruelty, of course, but because of what it showed him about the human soul when it's pushed to the absolute limit.
And who were the first people to populate this continent? Solzhenitsyn talks about the peasant plague. It was this quiet, insidious campaign that just destroyed, get this, around 15 million peasants. These people were the backbone of Russia, and they were among the very first to be washed up on the shores of these islands.
So how did you become a citizen of this awful nation? Well, for pretty much everyone, the journey started with the arrest. And the thing that defined the arrest was its completely terrifying randomness and just sheer absurdity.
This right here is such a critical idea. Solzhenitsyn calls it universal innocence. People just could not believe the system was that broken. They thought my case must be a mistake and they'll sort it out. And that fatal trust in order, that belief that reason would win out, led to this universal failure to fight back. Because if it's just a mistake, you comply, right? You go along and you wait. And by the time you realize it's not a mistake, it's far too late.
And this randomness was a weapon. The agents of the state, what he calls the organs, well, they could be literally anyone.
Paranoia just became a way of life. I mean, any stranger on the street, a simple taxi ride.
Or even a guest you welcomed into your home for the night could be the very person who drags you away into the darkness. A simple act of kindness could be your own undoing.
Then, after the arrest, came the search. This was like an alien invasion of the home. It was brutal, and it showed that absolutely nothing was sacred to the state. It was an exercise in total violation, and it was designed to shatter your entire world before you'd even stepped out your front door. Okay, so after the physical capture, then came the psychological warfare. This was the interrogation. And you have to understand, this process wasn't designed to find the truth. It was designed to manufacture guilt.
This just captures the trap so perfectly. The whole system was built on a mountain of lies. It turned the justice system into this horrifying theater piece where the script was already written and, you guessed it, the accused was always guilty.
The interrogation wasn't just random violence. Oh no, it was a cold, calculated system. Interrogators had this whole toolbox of methods. They used lies, sleep deprivation, thirst, psychological pressure on your family. All of that happened before they even got to outright physical torture. The goal was brutally simple: break the human spirit.
And right here, Solzhenitsyn pleads with us for compassion. He's reminding us that nobody is prepared for this kind of systematic attack on their soul. He's asking us to hold back our judgment, because you just can't know the breaking point of another person until you've been there.
So, for the few who actually survived interrogation, the next stop was the camp itself. This was life as a native of the archipelago, or a Zeke, which is what they called the prisoners.
The official story of corrective labor and re-education, it was a total lie. It was a mask for a brutal reality that was designed for one thing: destruction. Think about it. Impossible work quotas, like cutting down trees in chest-deep snow, combined with starvation-level rations. That meant that labor was really just a slower, more drawn-out form of execution. Inside the camp, every single prisoner faced this huge, fundamental choice. Do you survive at any cost, even if it means betraying other people, stealing their last piece of bread, becoming a tool for your oppressors? Or do you hold on to your humanity, your conscience, and probably die?
And here's the paradox. Solzhenitsyn argues that for the people who chose that harder path, this hell on earth could actually become a place of spiritual ascent. It's an incredible idea. As the body was enslaved, the mind could become truly free. The suffering could transform a person, burning away all the impatience and the harsh judgments, and replacing them with a deep patience and a profound understanding of human weakness.
So, after taking us through the absolute depths of this man-made hell, the arrests, the interrogations, the camps, Solzhenitsyn leaves us with the book's ultimate conclusion. And it's timeless, it's deeply personal, and it is absolutely essential.
You know, we all want to believe that evil is something external, right? It's something out there, something we can easily point to, separate from ourselves, and then destroy. It's a very comforting thought. This right here is the comforting lie that allows these terrible ideologies to grow. It's this simple, easy idea that the world is just neatly divided into us and them, the good guys and the bad guys. But Solzhenitsyn, having lived through the absolute worst of it, he just completely rejects that simplicity.
And this is it. This is the core lesson of this entire massive work. What Solzhenitsyn concludes is that the capacity for the greatest evil, and also the greatest good, it doesn't lie in some monster out there. It lies within each and every one of us. That dividing line, it's internal.
And that is the terrifying and essential lesson of the Gulag. The architects, the interrogators, the guards, they were human beings. The line between good and evil isn't fixed. It shifts. It shifts with circumstances, with ideology, with fear. And the real battle against evil, that's not fought on some distant battlefield. It has to be fought inside every single human heart. That is the challenge that Solzhenitsyn leaves us with.